Hi friends, my battery's on 8%. We're gonna get this done as fast as possible. Well, I don't want to rush. Whatever I record, and whatever I post is what's supposed to be posted, right? I call on my angels and my ancestors of the highest light to assist me in this reading today. I feel led to do a full moon reading today. I didn't even know today was going to be a full moon, but I'm always kind of attracted to the sky when there's something going on, like as far as like a full moon or a new moon, or I'll sync up physically with it. But it was like huge and I feel like it was screaming at me. So I did a full moon meditation when I got home, and this is going to be our full moon reading. Let me take a breath and calm down. You could be feeling very kind of like frantic right now. Based on the dreams I've had last night, I feel like the themes of this reading could definitely be around needing to like release shame, needing to release like past situations that kind of live rent free in your head. Cardinals could also be a sign for you needing to be out in nature and cleanse energetically in that way, sitting with your back up against a tree and just imagining like the negative energy being released into the earth and purified. And that way I also just feel like you could be drawn to fresh air. I know right now for some reason it's like stale air. Like I have to open up my windows and my door as soon as I get home, because something about air conditioned air, stale air, even in the car, just like air that is not constantly moving is like disturbing to me right now. I can't really explain it. It's just like I don't want to breathe it unless it's fresh air. Yeah, I could just feel like a energy of like newness or freshness could be significant for you right now. By the way, my name is Paris. I'm a lot of things. I don't identify as one thing. I read tarot. I make content. I do poetry. I like to draw. I like to sing. Yeah, I'm just as good of an introduction as I can do. What does collective need to hear for this full moon reading, Spirit? I'm hearing affirmations. You are enough. You are needed. I feel like there could be some insecurities around that you're trying to work through. Especially considering that like little intro I just gave. It's like you're trying to figure out where your value is outside of the things that you have to offer. And that is extremely, extremely difficult, especially if your entire life you have identified with your career or the amount in your bank account, or you know, with your appearance or the way you look. Like I feel like right now you could be being deconditioned from the way that you were conditioned since childhood to believe that your value comes from the things that you have to offer, from being the nice one, the caring one, the one that's always there for people. And it's not to say that those are negative traits, but I think you're really trying to define yourself outside of an identity that someone else built for you. It's deep, and that's hard, and it takes time. I feel like you could literally be asking yourself, like, who am I? If I'm not the painful experiences that I've been through, if I'm not a product of the people that have hurt me, then who am I? What is my identity outside of a diagnosis, outside of again, whatever this energy is, outside of your career, outside of the things that you've done? Like, who are you? How are you valuable if you're not offering something? I feel like it's the thought process that you're kind of going through right now. You are this Empress energy. You are divine, you are whole, you are complete. Affirmations can be very important for you. It may be something that you want to add into to rebuild this new identity. You have to excise the old one. And so instead of telling yourself the negative, limiting things that you have been telling yourself the past however many, I'm hearing decades, it's time for you to start pouring into yourself in a new way. You could have been doing affirmations before and kind of fallen off of them. I know I have, and I feel like this could be a call for us to start practicing some affirmations first thing in the morning, right before you go to bed, whenever it's convenient, whenever you can throughout your day. It doesn't have to be a strict religious sort of practice, but you do need to start telling yourself the things that you are wanting to hear from other people, is what I'm hearing. I feel like you definitely need to surround yourself with nature right now. Spend some time out in the sunlight. Use your sunscreen, of course. But I feel like being in nature, and being in nature without distraction, being in nature without headphones, being in nature without some sort of guided meditation, just like truly sitting in the silence, in the beauty. I just got like a wave of really good energy. I feel like that's what that could do for you. That's what could help you cleanse out some of this heavy energy that you're feeling right now, and also ground your energy. You could be feeling kind of very like floaty, unstable, sort of lightheaded. I got deja vu real bad when I was on the couch a minute ago. You could just be experiencing like some timeline shifts right now that could be causing you a certain amount of like instability in your current state. And I feel like right now it's essential, especially if it's warm weather where you are, to take advantage of that warm weather as many days as you can. Water could also be significant, needing to drink more water, needing to speak affirmations into your water. Yeah, if you do Reikiing your water. A pull to me as well to Reiki my water. What does collective need to hear right now? What does collective need to know? Specifically, Spirit, what does collective need to release? Confirmation burp. What does collective need to release for this new moon? You got the Star in reverse. I think the fact that you like run away from who you really are, because there's been certain parts of you for so long that have been rejected. So let's say that you are like a very like artsy person, but your parents were really adamant on you going to school to be a doctor, and you could currently be in school and it's just not flowing for you, and you keep trying to force fetch to happen. Like you keep trying to force it to happen because you refuse to embrace the fact that you're an artistic person, you're a philosophical person, you're an open-minded person, and I feel like you keep trying to put yourself in a box that you are not meant to be in. You keep trying to run away from the fact that you are this Empress energy, you are this Star energy. There's something about you that other people are naturally drawn to you because of this leadership quality that you have, and you run away from it because you've never considered yourself a leader. You've never wanted to lead anybody. You feel like there's a lot of weight to that title, and there's a lot of responsibility to that title, but to whom much is given, much is required. And there's something about you and who you are, that you are the perfect person to lead. You are the perfect person to be in the position of leadership, because you are also the sort of person to awaken that quality in other people. We're all leaders, but there's a certain period, I feel like, on a leadership journey where a lot of people that are leaders were once good leaders. Let me be clear. A lot of people that are good, righteous leaders were once like followers, and I feel like you could have been very comfortably uncomfortable in this position of being a follower, and having to step in this position of being a leader is something that you are very resistant to. But it doesn't matter how much you try to run away from who you are meant to be, you're always going to find yourself back on that doorstep, back in that space of kind of being in the face of what you continue to deny yourself of. And there's going to be a point where like trying to follow along with the status quo becomes so uncomfortable, so unbearable, so soul and life sucking, that is what's going to push you into this point of being, okay, let me just go ahead and try this out. Let me just go ahead and give it a chance. And it's in the trying that you're going to realize, oh, this feels good. This is what I was meant for. And it's not going to be from this egotistical point of like being, being so impressed with the fact that people look up to you, but it's going to be the fact that you see the way that you speak to other people and the way that you pour into other people really makes them believe in themselves in a way that your self-admiration is going to come from the fact that you are going to become a person that you really wish that you had when you were younger. It's going to be that inner child version of you that's kind of looking up to you like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for the things that you're doing because I never thought that I would be this person. You are the person that I needed when I was going through the things that I was going through. You were the safe place that I needed, and you are going to be the safe place for other people. And within doing that, it's going to be a healing experience. It's going to solidify and strengthen your confidence in this feeling of self-worth. And what you have to understand also with like this deconstruction of your identity that's going on is there's no amount of credentials that you need, no amount of what you have as far as leadership goes. It comes naturally. You could teach a master course in it. Like, it's not something that you need to go out and seek other information or resources in order for you to step into whatever position this is in. It's really something that comes naturally to you. I do want to get the book reading for the reverse. Through lack of judgment, loss will be incurred. I don't feel led to say the second part. Through lack of judgment, loss will be incurred. Yeah, and I feel like this loss is around, again, the life that you're sort of depriving yourself of because you keep denying who you are. And I feel like it's not even like a full denial. I just feel like it's just so different from the way that you thought things would be. There's a lot of grieving and releasing of the way you thought your life was going to go. You might really be like a type A person and have had every detail down to who you thought you might marry, you know, how you thought your family would be constructed, the role that you would play within your family dynamic. And I feel like you're kind of having to grieve all of that. And I want you to be patient with yourself because it takes time. Something that I that is like a quote for me that is very hard for me to follow by, even with myself, is the same amount of time that it took to create a trauma is the same amount of time, and sometimes more time, that it takes to dismantle it. And so if you are, you know, in your 20s, whatever the case may be, like all of that time that it took to build that identity, it may take the same amount of time to really release yourself from that identity. And don't be discouraged by that, because there is a journey and you're going to see a beautiful amount of progress. But don't be mad at yourself if we're 5 years down the line and you're still dealing with certain things that are coming up, because growth is a process and it's also a cycle. Something my therapist told me that discouraged me so bad, because there's part of me that is type A too, and I'm like, I want to fix this and I want to be done with this and I want to move over. I want to move on from it and I don't want to ever deal with it again. But that's just not how life works, and that's just not how healing works. And part of certain things is you continue to cycle through them until they're not necessary, until they're not needed anymore, and until they've shed in the way that they needed to be shed. But it's not a process that you can rush, no matter how hard you try to rush it. I want to acknowledge that you have, you know, we started out this reading with 2 major arcana, which is an indication that these are major changes, that they're things that are heavily affecting you right now. And so it's very important that you give yourself grace and that you extend yourself patience during this time. I feel like I really am speaking like at a pretty fast pace. And I feel like you could be physically moving at a very rapid pace, and it could be giving you anxiety. I'm hearing like heart palpitations. You could just not be feeling well. It could be like a lot of like work, and not enough rest. You could not be drinking enough water, not eating frequently enough, and it's weighing on you physically. And I feel like there's a need to deep breathe, and slow down. I feel like, especially with like the fact that my battery is dying, and I feel like that's where some of my like urgency is coming from. That's literally how you could be feeling, like you're feeling like you need to, like, you know that your battery is running low, you know that you're close to your personal breaking point, and you're trying to get everything and as much done as you can before you get to that breaking point. And that's not, it's a form of self-abuse, you know? Imagine if you were, you know, the manager of someone, and you and you seen them working 12-hour shifts 7 days a week, like, wouldn't there be something in you that would ask that person, like, are you okay? Like, this isn't healthy for you to keep going at this rate and at this extent. An episode from The Resident is coming up where they had this surgeon and he was going on like 48 plus hours of working and doing surgery, and he ended up passing out and like falling through the ceiling from like the top of the building. He had been chugging energy drinks and it had like a negative effect on like his heart, and he had some sort of cardiac event and he just like fell off the top of this building. He did end up surviving, but I think that again there's something significant about not pushing yourself to the point of breaking before you decide to rest. And I feel like I'm talking to a logical person too. You know, if you push yourself to that point and you have to take off 2 weeks, you're going to end up really putting yourself in a hard position as far as the things that you do have to take care of on a daily basis, because you're not going to be able to do that because you are forced into the position of having to take rest. Not to mention the fact that our bodies can only take so much. And so if you're pushing to the point of like you physically or mentally are not able to sustain something in the long run, like don't let that completely change the trajectory of your life because you're trying to maintain whatever this is right now. You can still maintain it, but you might have to scale back a little bit, take care of yourself, rearrange some things, and then move on to the next step. But make sure that you are treating yourself as a priority during this time. We got the Chariot in reverse. You can feel like things are kind of moving slow. And this could also be like why you're putting so much pressure on yourself to like, I need to get this done, I need to get that done, I need to like push, rush. I cannot stand the words divine timing, but it just, and why can't I stand it? Because it's so irritating. It's like, what does that mean? It means that it's gonna come in when it's ready and not when you want it to. That's what it means, and that's why it's irritating. It's not gonna come in when you want to force it to come in. And the reason why it comes in when it's supposed to come in is, again, to teach you how to navigate and handle the energy that you're currently in, so that when you do gain more and when you do level up, you aren't going to feel so unstable because you already know how to balance what you had at this point. It's going to be easy for you to balance what you have at it's going to be easier for you to balance what you have at the next point. Versus if you're scrambling already with what you have currently and you're like, oh, I want more. Again, how is that going to bode for you long term? You're not going to be able to sustain it. So the pace that you're at is a gift. The slowness is a gift. It's slow and steady wins the race. Sprinting and going full out, you're only going to be able to sustain that for so long, love. Versus a nice, leisurely, well-paced walk, you're going to be able to sustain that a lot longer. So release your fixation with this full moon around where you think you should be right now. I don't care how old you are. This illusion that you should have it figured out at a particular age is bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, none of us have it figured out. Talk to people that are older than you, and you'll realize that they don't have it figured out any more than you do. You'll be 50 years old and go through a divorce that you never expected that you would when you first got married. That's literally like starting over in a way. There is no where you're supposed to be at any particular point in your life. There's people 60, 70 years old that still have to work that didn't expect that when they first started, because the only thing that you can control in life is your own inner peace, is your own inner state. There is nothing external outside of you that you can control. No matter how much you may want to, no matter how much you may think that you can, you can't. So release yourself from this, because it's leaking energy in a way that it doesn't need to be leaked. This is going to be our last card. I don't really know where I'm at on battery. We are continuing to go on faith and a prayer at this point. Page of Wands. You need to release this idea that you have around everybody that comes to you, offering you help, wants something in return. With this card, I'm drawn to how he kind of has his hand out and he has this offering, and it's also on that right side of receiving. And I feel like you could have resistance around receiving help, receiving assistance. We're all mirrors of each other, so I definitely understand this energy. And it could be because you feel like you're gonna owe somebody if they give you something, or that you need to pay them back, or that there's I feel like you also may see it as a sign of weakness. But one thing that my boyfriend says often that I've been resistant to a lot, as well, but it is the truth, is the fact that we're communal creatures and we need each other, and we benefit by helping each other and supporting each other. And I feel like if there is someone in your life that is offering you help, that has never given you an indication that they are going to make you feel like they're indebted, like you're indebted to them for the rest of your life, then I feel like this is a good opportunity for you to practice that energy of receiving. Even if somebody, holds the door open for you, or you're driving and they want to let you, like, go ahead and go, like, receive in the small ways, so that when bigger things come along, you feel comfortable in that energy of receiving. Because I feel like that is directly correlated to your pace as well. If you would take some help, and so that you can get some of the burden off your back, it may also lighten your load and help you to move faster at all. Because as well, because I feel like you're kind of walking with like a 10-pound vest right now, and that's gonna naturally slow you down. Versus if you give some of that weight, even 2 pounds, to somebody else, you're gonna notice that difference. And so I feel like that could be important for you as well. We're gonna do 2 oracles. It's a weird song. I don't even know all of the lyrics to give it to you. I feel like maybe your heart could be a little closed, and there could be somebody that wants you to open up to them, and you're resistant to doing it. They're not going to stop, though. We see that you are on the brink of a breakthrough that you have been patiently waiting for. A situation is about to come full circle. The lessons have been learned. This is a win-win situation for you. Trust that we are working behind the scenes to ensure the best outcome for you. Just keep pushing. Matter of fact, don't even keep pushing it. Don't keep pushing as hard as you've been pushing, but I just mean, like, keep going. Like, just keep swimming. I don't like that word. I take back the push. Just keep swimming. Just keep existing. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. I know. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. You need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. I mean, that right there, I need you to, like, screenshot it, save it. Yeah. Because that's where, like, some of this stress that you have going on too, like maybe too much time on social media, maybe too much time just like it said, like, focusing on what everyone else is doing, what they've got going on, what they are achieving, and all of those sort of things. And I feel like there could be a lot of comparison going on. And again, your tether to what you felt like or what you feel like you should be in life right now is hindering you. It's time to release all of that. That is what this full moon is about for you. I hope that this reading helps you on your journey in that process. I send you off with all the love in the world, and I'm sending you grace and light and healing, loving energy. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. It's precious, and I'm honored that you would choose to spend it with me. I hope you have a great night.